In the pages of history, few destinies intertwine so intimately with the very essence of human progress. Antiquity left us the figure of Prometheus, the titan who, defying the gods, stole sacred fire to deliver it to humanity, condemning himself to eternal torment for his audacity. But what happens when legend materializes? When a man of flesh and blood dares to emulate the Promethean feat in a world still crawling in darkness? July 10th, 1856. In a small Croatian village, amid a thunderstorm, a child is born. The midwife looks at him with terror and tells his mother, "This child will be a son of darkness." But his mother, with a smile, replies, "No, he will be a son of light." Nikola Tesla, a man who didn't steal fire, but domesticated it, molded it, and freed it to illuminate every corner of our planet. But like every Prometheus, his greatness would also be his condemnation. His light, so brilliant, would cast shadows of envy, incomprehension, and oblivion. Today you'll discover how a genius changed the world, how the powerful betrayed him, and how his visions were so advanced that we're still discovering his secrets. But above all, you'll understand why his story is a warning about what happens to those who dare to challenge the established order. To understand the magnitude of what Tesla achieved, you must first understand the world he was born into. It was 1856. Electricity was a mysterious, dangerous, almost mystical phenomenon. People lived by the rhythm of the sun. When darkness fell, the world plunged into shadows. Tesla was not a normal child. He possessed an astonishing capacity for visualization, an imagination so vivid that he could build and operate complex machines in his mind before they existed in reality. This ability, which for many would be mere fantasy, was for Tesla the forge of his genius. Like Prometheus, who knew the secrets of divine fire, Tesla saw electricity in a way no one else could understand. Literally, he could visualize electromagnetic fields, invisible waves, the flow of energy as if it were water. It was as if he had a sixth sense that allowed him to perceive the fundamental forces of the universe. At 23, Tesla had the vision that would change everything. Walking through a park in Budapest, he suddenly saw something no one had seen before: the alternating current motor. He didn't just see it, he understood it completely. Every gear, every coil, every magnetic field. But having a vision is one thing. Making it reality in a world controlled by powerful men who don't want change, that's an entirely different story. 1884. Tesla arrives in New York with 4 cents in his pocket, a book of poetry, some drawings of his inventions, and a letter of recommendation for the most powerful man in America, Thomas Edison. Edison was everything Tesla was not: pragmatic, commercial, ruthless. He had built an empire based on direct current, and he wasn't willing to let a strange immigrant challenge him. Tesla proposes his alternating current system to Edison. Edison looks at him with contempt and says, "Young man, if you can improve my direct current generators, I'll pay you $50,000. It was a fortune in those days. Tesla worked day and night for months. He improved Edison's generators extraordinarily. When he went to collect, Edison laughed in his face. "Tesla, you don't understand American humor." He never paid him. It was at that moment Tesla understood a fundamental truth. Titans don't share fire. They guard it jealously, and they destroy whoever dares to offer them a brighter flame. Tesla left Edison and allied with George Westinghouse, the only man powerful enough to challenge Edison's empire. Thus began the war that would determine humanity's future, the War of Currents. Edison didn't fight clean. He organized public spectacles where he electrocuted animals with alternating current to demonstrate its danger. He even invented the electric chair using alternating current to associate it with death. It was the Olympus of magnates attempting to punish whoever dared to challenge their dominion. But Tesla had an ace up his sleeve. At the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, before millions of people, Tesla lit up a dazzling demonstration of alternating current's power and safety. It was the victory of vision over myopia, of efficiency over obsolescence. Tesla had delivered fire to the masses, but Olympus would not forgive his audacity. He had won the war. His alternating current would illuminate the world. But he didn't know this victory would only be the beginning of his tragedy. With alternating currents victory, Nikola became the world's most famous inventor. But fame and success didn't satisfy him. He had bigger visions, much bigger. He didn't just want to illuminate the world, he wanted to connect it. His vision was grandiose, a global wireless energy system, a world wireless system that would make electricity accessible to everyone, without cables or borders. Like Prometheus, who delivered fire to humanity, Tesla dreamed of delivering abundant and free energy to every corner of the planet. He built Wardenclyffe Tower, a structure that should transmit energy and communications to any point on the planet. It was his most ambitious project, his definitive gift to humanity. But J.P. Morgan, the world's most powerful financier, realized something terrible. If Tesla achieved free energy for everyone, how would the masses be controlled? How would they be charged for electricity? Morgan withdrew funding. Not only that, he used his influence to ensure no other investor would support Tesla. The message was clear. There are certain fires that must not be stolen from the gods. Tesla watched them destroy his tower, how his patents were exploited, his contributions minimized, and his genius often eclipsed by figures more skilled in self-promotion. Like Prometheus, who delivered fire and was punished by the gods, Tesla delivered the future and was condemned to oblivion by those who benefited from his gifts. Nikola's final years were a testimony to the world's ingratitude. Isolated with financial problems and consumed by his obsessions, the brilliant inventor who had illuminated the world lived in the shadows of a hotel room, feeding pigeons and dreaming of a future he had already built in his mind. He died in 1943, alone and in poverty, his name barely a whisper in history books. Immediately after his death, FBI agents confiscated all his documents. Why? Because Tesla had developed technologies that were decades, perhaps centuries, ahead of his time. Today, every time you turn on a light, use Wi-Fi, charge your phone wirelessly, or see an electric car, you're using his inventions. We literally live in the world he imagined. But Tesla's story is more than a biography. It's a timeless lesson about the price of genius, the struggle against mediocrity, and the immortality of a vision that dares to change the world. His fire wasn't just electricity, but the spark of innovation, the audacity to challenge the established, the perseverance before incomprehension. The next time someone tells you an idea is impossible, that a dream is too big, remember him. Remember that true geniuses don't just see the present, but live in the future, that in each of us resides the spark of a Prometheus, waiting to be freed. Tesla didn't die. He simply got so far ahead of us that we're still catching up. His legacy, like Prometheus's fire, burns eternally, illuminating the path toward a future that he, and only he, could foresee. Because true Prometheuses don't just give us fire, they show us we can become bearers of light.